In this video, I'm going to break down Miko's vocal tracks. The song features 9 vocal tracks. Miko tracked all of his vocals with the Shure SM7B dynamic microphone as an effort to impart that Incubus vibe, to use his words. I'll start by showing you what each part or group sounds like on its own. The first 2 vocal tracks are for the verse and chorus parts, which are panned to the center and routed to the vocal lead group.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's its I quiz them by, waiting for the world to pass by, but we got this one life to.
Then there are 4 vocal tracks in the chorus, which breaks down to melody and harmony vocal tracks doubled. Each part is panned hard left and right. The melody tracks are routed to the vocal double group, and the harmonies are routed to the vocal back group.
Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
And finally, there are 3 additional vocal tracks that only appear in the bridge. They're all panned center and routed to the vocal lead group.
Soon it's gonna be over. Stop! Soon it's gonna be over. Stop wasting your life! Soon it's gonna be over.
As is, the vocal tracks are extremely undermixed. I suspect Miko did this for gain staging purposes. Many plugins that emulate hardware, such as the CLA76, which is Wave's 1176 emulation, are sensitive to input levels and will impart distortion past a specific threshold. The CLA76 treats negative 18 dBFS like plus 4 dBu, meaning that a signal of negative 18 dBFS from the DAW to the hardware unit will display a meter reading of 0 VU or plus 4 dBu. As such, you'll notice that the output level is much louder than the input level. The compressor is taking off up to 10 decibels at a 4:1 ratio, with a fairly slow attack and fast release, which is less than 50 microseconds. While this might sound like a heavy-handed treatment, it's necessary for the vocals to be discernible and sit on top of all the other instruments, which are basically loud pretty much the whole time. The slower attack time allows the transients to get through so the performance doesn't sound flat and lifeless, while the fast release quickly brings up the quieter parts. Beyond the compressed tracks being much louder, you'll notice it sounds a lot more even in terms of levels.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's its I quiz them by, waiting for the world to pass by, but we got this one life.
While soloed, the track sounds a little too flat dynamically. It's necessary for this style of music to keep it on top of all the other instruments. Miko's using the same CLA76 settings on all the individual tracks, so I'm going to activate the rest of them. From there, I'm going to move on to the group channels. They definitely have a lot of treatment being applied. That said, the settings are mostly the same for the 3 vocal groups. The first plugin being applied is the Puigtech EQ P1A, which is a Waves emulation of the Pultec EQ of the same name. The Pultec is known to be a very musical EQ for broad stroke treatments. Here, it's just being used to apply a high shelf boost at 12 kHz. This treatment opens up the sound substantially, providing for a clarity that will help it cut and help the discernibility of the words. Miko said it adds a certain Celine Dion raspiness to his voice that he likes. Yikes. Note that on the vocal double group, slightly less of a boost is being applied at the same 12 kHz range. This is a common trick for harmony vocals. By making them less bright than the primary vocal track, they oftentimes blend better. Here's what these treatments sound like.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's its I squeeze them by, waiting for the world to pass by. But we got this one life. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
After that, a doubler is being applied. This makes the center pan vocal sound wider. Its effect on the hard pan vocal tracks is less noticeable.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's it's I squeeze them by, waiting for the world to pass by. But we got this one life. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
Following the doubler is the Sound Toys Decapitator plugin. This adds some saturation that's most noticeable in the higher frequencies. It almost behaves like an exciter in this instance.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's it's I squeeze them by, waiting for the world to pass by. But we got this one life. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
Despite the substantial amount of gain reduction already being applied by the CLA 76s, the Waves L2 maximizer is being applied to reduce the dynamics more yet. It's taking off around 3 to 5 decibels in gain reduction and then boosting the level. While the compressor was working at a 4:1 ratio, limiters work at higher ratios, usually 10:1 or higher like infinity to 1. This is a quick and easy solution to ensure that all the parts come through loud and clear. Take note that the out ceiling settings on the vocal double and back groups are set differently.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's it's I squeeze them by, waiting for the world to pass by. But we got this one life. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
Following the maximizer is the Waves API 550A EQ, which again, Miko uses to contour how the various instruments blend with each other. Here, 2 decibel boosts are being applied at 400 Hz and 3 kHz. This brightens up and fills the sound out a little bit. On the vocal double group, the same boost is being applied at 400 Hz, but the higher frequencies are being attenuated by 2 decibels at 3 and 5 kHz. You'll hear this makes the vocal sound darker and fuller. On the vocal back group, a 2 decibel cut is being applied at 400 Hz, and a 2 decibel boost is being applied at 3 kHz. These treatments were applied to further help the parts differentiate themselves from one another and also prevent them from cumulatively sounding too tubby.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's it's I squeeze them by, waiting for the world to pass by. But we got this one life. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is alike, Make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
After that, the FabFilter Pro Q is being applied to cut all the lows past 111 Hz. This prevents the vocals from taking up energy in the same range as the drums and bass guitar.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's inside Queen. Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time?
The final plugin being applied to the vocal lead group is the Waves H-Delay Stereo. Its tempo is synced to the project with the repeat value set to eighth notes, but since the project tempo is basically doubled, the H-Delay is effectively doing 16th note repeats. The feedback is set low, and a low-pass filter is being applied at 4 kHz to darken the sound up. With the track soloed, it makes the part sound a bit messy, but using the delay like this is a common technique to help give the vocal track more width, which, in the context of the mix, is all that's perceived.
Day by day, I wonder why we spend our time on what's inside. We stand by, waiting for the world to pass by, but we got this one life.
On the vocal double and vocal back groups, instead of applying the H delay, the Waves Renaissance reverb is being applied. It's mixed very low and has a fairly short decay. It's being applied to thicken the tracks up just the slightest bit. With 4 parts happening, the H delay would make every hard consonant smear unless the performances were airtight. As such, the R-verb is a better tool to achieve a similar result in this instance.
Do you remember the last time you did something for the first time? Can you remember the excite when you did something for the first time? If every day in your life is a lie, make sure tomorrow's the next time you do something for the first time.
By itself, the Shure SM7B provided a fairly flat-sounding vocal recording. But don't kid yourself, this mic has a lot of fans out there, including some high-profile users such as U2's Bono. I think part of the reason it's popular is because it can handle crazy SPL levels, and it cuts through dense mixes pretty well too. Also, it's not that fragile a mic. But this song is a perfect example of how a recording that sounds flat initially can be treated to sound like $1,000,000. In the next video of this series, I'm going to break down for you the send effects and master bus treatments.